What if I told you within the next 3 years, 92% of businesses will be embracing AI technology inside of their business? But ironically, less than 2% are actually doing this today. That gap is where your business can thrive and win in 2025 and beyond. I'm breaking down the exact AI marketing tools that service based and event industry businesses like yours are starting to implement inside of their business, as well as the ones that I have started to implement inside of mine. You can use AI from automating your busy workflow to creating content that converts and boosting revenue. In fact, they say that businesses that do integrate AI effectively in their business are seeing up to a 40% increase in revenue due to implementing it. And the best part, you can start using it this week if you choose to do so. And I'm going to give you some recommendations that are either free or very affordable for you to start using today. This is Jessie, your host. So if you're tired of wearing all the hats and spending hours stuck in repetitive tasks, this episode is for you. Here's a stat that you can chew on. The AI marketing industry is expected to hit $217 billion by 2034, and we're still in the early innings. Right now, 88% of marketers are already using AI in some way, yet only 1% of businesses feel confident they're using it to its full potential. That means the field is wide open for service based businesses, specifically those of us that are in the event industry and hospitality, to go ahead with putting these tools to work so that we're able to stay ahead of the competition. So let's be real. AI isn't about the future, it's about right now. In fact, you probably are seeing all types of commercials or people talking about it on YouTube and different platforms for marketing, and you're not quite sure what that means for you. In fact, 51% of people are using it to optimize the content that they're creating today. And then another 50% are actually using it to generate their content. And then, of course, 43% are using AI, the ones that are using it to automate their repetitive task. So think about it. AI can help you with making more money in your business when you use it correctly. And here's where it hits home for you. Whether you're an event planner trying to promote holiday parties, a consultant building your client base, or a service provider juggling admin, AI can give you back hours every week. It's something for you to do a quick check in on yourself. Think to yourself, how many hours do you spend weekly writing posts, replying to emails, fiddling in Canva, doing different types of designs? And keep that number in mind, because at the end of this episode, I'll show you how to be able to cut some of that time in half by some of the tools I'm going to be recommending for you. So now let's dig into some of the tools in which I'm going to recommend. Some I personally am using, but also through some of my research, I was able to find some other tools I think that you may be able to implement inside of your business. The first tool is going to be HoneyBook. I always talk about HoneyBook because it has the ability to do AI automation inside of your CRM. And that is your client relationship management tool. And it's important to have a CRM that does allow for automation because it will help you with having the ability to respond back to clients better. It will allow for your client journey to be smoother. And then plus, it will allow for you to know exactly what's going on inside of your business at specific times. And if you think that me doing a video on how HoneyBook has AI inside of their platform, comment below because I'm always open to being able to get feedback from you guys on what I should be using, on what I should be doing content on. And the reason why using a CRM that does use automation is that it's perfect for service professionals who are really wanting to onboard smoothly and to optimize their business so they're able to scale and grow. Because let's be real, in 2025, no one should be doing anything manually in their business. And that's just my standpoint on it. The next tool is going to be Jasper AI. This can be your content writing assistant. I love Jasper AI. I have used this platform on and off for multiple years, and it does help, especially for those of you that may not feel as if you're the strongest when it comes to really anything that deals with copywriting. inside of your content. So if you're someone that just doesn't feel that confident in doing blogs, creating newsletters, doing social media captions, or just even coming up with different concepts and ideas, Jasper AI is going to be that one. It allows for you to do your posts, your emails, your blogs all in seconds. And it allows for you to feel as if you have hired a pro copywriter to work on your team. And that's the way I think you should really think of AI. Is not always to replace people, but the biggest thing too, it allows for you to excel in areas in which you may not be the strongest, but it also allows for you to cut back on some of the costs from hiring people if you're not in that position right now. And the thing is, too, is that once you do have an assistant, when you do set up a platform like Jasper or Honeybook correctly, it allows for them to support you in ways that they probably weren't always going to be able to do consistently. And it allows for them to use a tool to really be repetitive in the business and allow for you to optimize their time that you're paying them for. The fifth tool is going to be Asana AI. There are different types of platforms that do project management that have started to integrate AI. Notion is one of those, as well as Asana. I personally lean towards Asana. I have used Notion before and I have used Trello before. With event professionals, I do know people that like to use that for their project management. So they're able to know exactly where a wedding and all the tools and things are going on inside of a specific project in a isolated location. But the great thing about the AI technology inside of these project management tools is that it allows for you to streamline your workflows and your client projects all in one space. And what they started to do with AI and these types of platforms is that if you weren't someone that's naturally strong with understanding these platforms, you can type in onto the website, I'm needing AI technology to do X, Y, and Z, and it will actually help you with creating that inside of the platform. So you'll save time. And to be honest, I feel like a good amount of platforms have started to integrate AI, not to make it like, oh my gosh, you need to use AI. But the reality is that most people don't use the platforms correctly or efficiently. As someone that professionally helps people inside of their businesses, I find that most are not using any platform completely outside of sending invoices, because that's one thing that people take seriously. It's like, oh, I need to make sure I'm sending my invoices. But everything else, I feel that it's just not, people are paying for platforms and they feel, why am I paying for this when I'm not using it? Another tool that I do like to recommend that has AI now is Canva. And the great thing about this is that if you use the AI inside of Canva, it will make creating posters and images so much more easier. In fact, I've seen some people that have leaned into some of the technology that comes with editing videos or editing their posts and making sure they're able to show up more powerfully. I think, again, this is where you have to sit here and think to yourself, you may be using Canva. I would guess that most of you are using Canva, but I would definitely assume that most of you are going to not be using it to its fullest capacity. I know I use it and I'm still growing in it because I'm not necessarily a graphic designer, but I am always wanting to look at how do I cut back on the time it takes for me to complete a specific task. You always have to be in that position because sometimes the reason why we're not growing is because we're not looking at how do I work more efficiently inside of a business, which just really comes down to I have time. I have a lot of time. It may feel as if I don't have a lot of time, but the reason why is because I haven't learned how to use that time to the best of my ability. And that is the best way to look at integrating different types of AI tools inside of your business is because you have some really great things that you're up to. But if we're not looking at how do I use the time myself or my team has the most effectively, it can truly slow you down and allow for competitors to get a winning start in this race. Well, it's not necessarily a race. It would give your competitors a heads up. Another tool that I have really started to embrace, and I'm not going to lie, I've been using Zapier now for a very long time, but it's one of those tools that I've legitimately set it and and forgot about it. And the Zaps that I use worked well and they worked great. It wasn't until recently that I went to the DFW, Dallas Fort Worth Small Business Startup Summit. And it was great because I went to a day worth of trainings on AI agents and my buttons were just so excited about like, oh my gosh, AI agents, like this could be great because if I can have this app talk to this one that then does this. And I was like, oh, this is going to allow for us to be consistent in so many areas, especially on the marketing part of what I'm doing from this podcast to the Green Eyed Ambition web channel to all of the different things I'm doing for my brands. And I'm like, oh my goodness, AI agents and using Zapier at its fullest capacity is about to really level up how well I'm showing up as a content creator, a business owner, and a thought leader. So, the great thing about Zapier, if you never have used this platform, the best way that I can say to describe it is that this is going to be your connector. So, whatever CRM platform you're using, let's say someone inquires about your service, you can have Zapier then send that same information to your email list. So you're building your email list as people are inquiring about your services. Because the nature of events is that we're going to always have people that are going to inquire about our services, but they may not be ready to pull the trigger, or it might be a no for right now, but they're going to come back to you. So if you don't have some type of integration to allow for you to still nurture people inside of your sales funnel, that is going to be the most basic Zap that I'm going to recommend to you. But if you want for me to give you some more ideas on Zaps that I can either do, comment, and I would love to know because I feel that a lot of people don't use Zapier to its fullest. And when you do it correctly, you can truly look at how you can optimize your time. So this is why I recommend each one of these tools. And I do use a bunch of other tools that I talk about more frequently on the Green Eyed Ambition platform. But I just wanted to give you some beginner concepts of what does AI look like and how this can save you time. And here's the thing, before you panic and think, oh my gosh, I cannot afford another, or I don't want to spend money on another app, and you're like, how much is all of this going to cost? Most of these tools are cheaper than hiring a single freelance project manager. And some of these actually are free, just like how I mentioned Canva. Canva tools are free. Granted, if you're looking for a certain level of quality or images, it does take the pro account. And I feel like the pro account should be a no brainer for most of us. But all of these platforms are really great to look at how do you integrate it inside of your business based on your structure and the size that you are currently. So let me give you some real world applications on like how does all this AI tools, I feel overwhelmed. You might be in that position. I get it because I do understand that sometimes those of us that are really creative, the tech side and the system side and the structure side is just overwhelming. So I want to give you some real life examples. So let's say you are an event planner. The way that you can use this is automating post event thank yous using the CRM platform that you have. Inside of Honeybook, you can actually have a tag where you're doing an offboarding process that after an event, then you can use a platform. I didn't go into detail about this, but there is a platform called Creo. But if you don't want to use Creo, you can do this in Canva, where you can do a promo video in there, and then you can use Jasper to help you with writing the copy that can then go out to your email list or to post on social media. The best way to do all of this consistently is to use technology, one, most importantly. Two, have a structure framework. You don't want to have to reinvent the box each and every time. If you know that you're always going to have a certain structure when you do specific emails, follow that structure. If you're going to have graphics or videos you're going to be creating, have a specific structure that you're going to be doing so that it's easy for you to create it. If you're someone that's like, I want to do reels and I want to do them consistently, but I want to use some of the cool things that are inside of maybe Pixar or InShot or CapCut or Canva, whichever one of these AI platforms that has AI, know what are the things that you always have to capture so it's easy to rinse and repeat. I always tell people that I talk to one on one, You want it to be that it's easy not only for you to do it, but for someone else that's working with you to do it. And the only way that's possible is if you streamline your process and you make it so that it's easy for anyone to step into the role, even if it's not you. And the key is keep it simple. Don't try to use all of the tools I've recommended because I'm always consuming tools. That's me. That's my vibe. That's what I do. I'm always doing that. But you don't have to feel the need to go out there and get all the apps. Start simple, start with one, pick one, master it, and expand upon it. That's why in the beginning I said, look at and think to yourself when I'm creating certain content, when I'm trying to attract my customers, how much time am I spending and where is the bulk of that time going? So once you know where the bulk of that time is going, look at how you can cut back on that time, improve the quality, improve the efficiency. That's the way to work it. Sometimes people put so much effort in the minute things instead of thinking about how do I put effort into the big things and using technology to allow for you to show up powerfully each and every time. So here's how you can get started without breaking the bank or feeling overwhelmed. The first thing is that you can check out Jasper and Notion. Both of them have free versions. So use Jasper with Notion or Asana or Trello, whatever you're using. Think to yourself, how do I keep myself organized if it's for marketing to my clients, if it's re-engaging clients, if it's creating content, just figure out what's that one area you're going to be using AI and then think it to yourself, how am I going to use potentially Jasper and a project manager to stay in control? I use Asana for managing my clients we're doing projects for this podcast, all of our social media content, our rebranding for Green Eyed Ambition. That's going to be called GEA Systems Studio. And the thing is that it allows for a centralized location. So you want to think to yourself, how can you start to use Jasper because they have free. So if you're not great with content, if you're not great with creating newsletters, blogs, use the free version and start to integrate that. The second thing is to now look at whatever CRM you're using and doing at minimum one automation, wherever that's going to be. Again, I always would think you want to do it at least with your onboarding or what I consider your inquiry process when someone inquires about your services, that automation to be seamless. So focus on that one automation. The third thing I would recommend you to do is then going on to Canva, create your master templates so you're able to stay consistent. So, like, tackle each one of these as you continue to grow and get more confident. And then once you've done all this, then to start to explore Zapier and thinking to yourself, how do I allow different platforms communicating to each other? Because I actually have it that when I move a project inside of Asana to a specific board, zaps into Zapier, then connects to Jasper, and then it creates based off of the conditions I give it, it then creates my blog based off of what I provided. It's pretty amazing. Like I was so excited about this. So now we can do our blogs quite easily. We do still go and run through it and make sure the outlines and all that stuff are pretty on spot on, but that's just an idea for you. So think to yourself, how are you going to start implementing this? The starting cost to really start using some of these apps, I would say you can do everything that I've recommended to you outside of your CRM because CRMs typically are going to run you anywhere between $30 to $50 for a good one a month, which to me is worth it because I'm always going to make sure I'm billing accordingly so I make that money back. But again, time is money. So doing all that stuff manually and not using a CRM is just a no-go for me. But you can get everything else I recommended for less than $50. And if you do this correctly, it's going to save you time, anxiousness, worry, and stress. And that's even cheaper than your weekly coffee run or buying something on TikTok, whatever your thing is. We all have a thing. And it will completely help with optimizing your workflows. So let me give you your quick 30-day AI action plan with the tools in which I have recommended to you. So take out your pen and paper and get locked in. Let's just say from the first 7 days, I want for you to use Jasper By giving it the right prompts and the right information, I want for you to allow it to help you creating content for your business for a month. Have it create your content calendar for this month. Then I want for you to allow another 7 days to set up one automation in your CRM. So we're starting out first week. We're going to use Jasper to help us with creating our content calendar so we have clarity on what we're putting out there to market and attract clients. The second week, what you're going to do is take the time to learn out how to do one automation inside of the CRM that you're using so that you're able to onboard clients a lot more smoother. The next week, what I want for you to do is to do your first video or content inside of Canva using some of the AI tools that are there. And the great thing is that now Canva even has AI video inside of it. So do that. And then the fourth week, take time to connect it all using Zapier so that you're able to streamline your marketing for your business. Keep it simple, keep it consistent. And remember this stat. 73% of companies say AI creates better customer experiences. And this isn't just about working faster, it's about serving your clients better. So, all in all, the AI marketing revolution is here, and small businesses can get ahead with the right tools that are going to allow for you to maximize the opportunity to get more exposure to your business by using AI to help you with marketing it. The tools I gave you are really focusing on automation, speed, and professionalism in a way that's going to allow for you to show up powerfully and consistently to your client base. And then I tried to give you a budget-friendly 30-day plan to implement these tools without feeling overwhelmed, because that's the biggest thing. I don't want you to feel super overwhelmed and feeling as if like, oh my gosh, I just don't know what to do. But most importantly, here's your action plan for today. Pick one tool today and sign up for a free trial, because most platforms all have free trials, and I will have links inside of the show notes that are going to give you free trials. So please click on those links. And don't wait because your competitors aren't. You definitely have some people out here that are embracing all of these tools to help with scaling, growing their business. And I want that for you too. So if this episode has given you clarity, please subscribe and drop a comment below, because I want to hear from you. If you want for me to show more on Green Eyed Ambition about how to actually use some of these tools or some of the Zaps that I use in Zapier, I am down for showing you that. Or if any of the tools I've recommended to you, you want for me to give more in depth on how to actually start using them, that is a great way. But most importantly, I want to hear, are you excited about AI inside of your business, and what are you actually starting to use to be more efficient in what you're doing?